Let's give it up one more time for the Heftones, everybody. Yeah! All right. The next act, fresh off his HBO comedy tour, is El Gato. Let's keep the noise level up. Go on, everybody. He's decided to grace us with his presence here today.
Okay, just gonna take me a second to get used to this, as I've never done this before in my life. But thank you, Clint, of course. But with these last 3 weeks, when I have been preparing this show, I have learned a lot about myself, and I've learned a lot of things which I never knew would be possible. For instance, the fact that today and these last couple weeks, first time I have ever had something in common with my own government. First time ever. You see, it's 3 weeks I've been preparing for this, and never before did I know how difficult it was to have all this preparation for one night of bombing. So, sorry, yeah, see, I laughed as well, so, but seriously though, I know that all of you are not gonna like this show. I have over 100 people who are staring at me right now. I know you're all not going to like it. I'm not delusional. But the fact is that I really do care what you think, honestly, and if you don't like the show, you have any problems with it, please do not interrupt during the performance. Just wait until the show's over, fill out a form, and drop in the complaints box, which I have conveniently set up for all of you by the fire pit. So please, thank you, because I really, really do care. I mean, but hey, what am I gonna do? Start the fire with some newspapers? Newspapers might have some problems that I actually fucking care about inside of them. So please put your complaint forms inside. So, but honestly though, it's very difficult to be up here tonight. It's so hard that, I do have to take a second, no jokes aside, all jokes aside, and I have to thank the people who gave me the bravery and who instilled in me the confidence to even get up here in front of all of you, because without their efforts, this would be impossible. So please, I'd just like to thank the Colombian Cocoa Growers Union out of Bogota. Deeply appreciated for all your hard work, truly, truly. But no, listen, at this point of the joke, this is when I say that is just a joke, because I am not on coke at all, I'm not on any drugs. Actually, tonight I bought crack. In honor of Labor Day, I wanted to buy American. So, all honesty. But no, seriously, I'm not on drugs anymore at this moment because they wore off about 2 minutes ago, unfortunately. But, but no, it's not every day somebody gets the opportunity to grab a microphone and embarrass the living shit out of themselves in 150 people. So thank you, Clint. Thank you. I deeply appreciate it, truly. But what I actually did, I'm not sure which one the feedback microphone is, but I tried to set the microphones up so when I'm staring at all of your faces and I see that the joke's gonna fall flat, I just quickly walk over and just before the punchline, no feedback. Thank you, Clint. Appreciate it. Oh, you bastard. I was supposed to give feedback and it would have been funnier if you would have actually heard it, but it did not work at this time. So seriously, I'd like to thank Clint though, because he did give me this task to do just the day before that me and my girlfriend had parted. It has been a very difficult time, and for Clint to give me this task has been absolutely perfect in helping me get over it. So there's no punchline, just every lady, I am single, available, and extremely vulnerable. So please, just, you got about 10 minutes to work up the pickup lines, thank you. But no, Clint knew that only a reasonable and anyone with an ounce of sanity would not take this job. So Clint, you picked the perfect man for the job, Clint, thank you. Appreciate it, much, much, much. But what I could have done, I know I could have just taken a bunch of obscure comedians, obscure artists, and just taken them, put them all together, and just passed off the, material as my own, but I'll leave that to the godlings later. But no, but seriously though, Clint, thank you for putting me up before you, because there's no way I can top that fucking joke. But on top of that though, no, but really though, Clint dates my sister Colleen, and for years and years we tried to get the two of them together. But overall, Clint just kept saying, no, 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 I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. And then finally they did. But, you know, all those, at least a year, she would say no. So remember those days, Clint? Remember, Kyle? Remember those days, Kyle? Back when you used to have taste? Sorry, man, I had to do that one. But also, we have Rick Hall here, our big boss, the big boss. We have to thank him because without him, this would not be possible. Because where else are we gonna steal all this fucking wood from? No, but seriously, when Clint told me that I was gonna be doing a comedy set, I said, well, why didn't you ask Rick to do the set? I mean, come on, he's the best comedian I know. Who else can come on a job site, tell one joke, and everyone laughs for 25 minutes? You know? But that one's only, that one works within the inside. So, but we are here for Labor Day today, and I'd just like to take a moment and thank all of the American laborers. Gracias. And, no, but seriously, if you actually take a look at the unemployment numbers that we have, they do say that the number is rising around 7%, which is a lie, because 7% is actually the only number of people who are actively seeking employment, not the people who are on welfare, who are collecting all types of unemployment checks. So Labor Day is the day when all Americans get a day off work, we get to hang out, we get to drink beer, or as most Americans call, Wednesday. Yeah, but you know, but they do say that, well, Clint did have a bunch of our Mexican friends invited today from the job site, but they couldn't make it, because, oh, fuck, they had to go to work. But, but no, on top of that, though, it's really a great thing to be up here. But, you know, they say, oh, you know, the Mexicans are here because they do the jobs that we don't want to do. You know, like what, mow your lawn? Of course. No guy mows their lawn anymore. That joke, I'll take it out and I'll just replace it with all the words. So, so, you know I can't please everybody up here. There's only one person on the planet who could actually come up here and please every single one of you, and that would be Jerry Seinfeld, I guess. It would be the only one. Everybody would laugh. So his comedy is actually one of the easiest things that I've ever tried to practice in my life. I want to study. What would everybody like? How am I going to please every single person here? Because it's just impossible. So I did come up with a Jerry Seinfeld joke for all of you. But it's quite simple because I actually found it while I was sitting on the toilet. The most easiest joke I ever found. So his comedy is very simple. He stares at something and he makes a joke about it. So get ready for the best Seinfeld impression you ever heard. But so, I mean, you just really, literally look at something, find the joke. So I thought of this Seinfeld joke, and it's just, what's the deal with calling it taking a shit? I mean, come on. Where are you taking it? Where am I going to take it? Do you have it in the bag? No, I'm taking it to the store. No, I'm not going to take it at all. Sorry, it was much better when I was on paper. And if I had a Seinfeld accent and could complete it, then it would have been perfect. But but no, here we are back in NFL time. The NFL has now started back up again. Let's hear it. All NFL fans. Woo! Yeah, here we go. NFL fans are out there. So NFL is very strange when it comes around this time of year because it actually takes when everybody, their whole language changes. It all becomes interspersed with all different types of dialogue, which comes nothing else but from NFL teams. So I like to fuck with some guys when I'm going out and I see them with a Giants hat, Giants shirt, everything, and I ask them, I say, hey man, you know, what do you think about Eli Manning this year? And, you know, they'll go, oh, well, you know, last year he had 3,942 yards. He had a passer completion percentage of 86.2. He had a passer rating of 65.5 and a touchdown to interception ratio of 26.7. Okay. How old's your wife? Oh, shit, man. 4th and 2? 42? 42? I don't know. Something like that. I'm not too sure. How old? Okay, well, you know, and then you ask him, hey man, what do you think about the Jets this year? Oh, you know, that quarterback, he did very good when he was sophomore year in college, and then he went into junior year, and then he made his way up to senior, and then now the Jets have him, and he's going to be a good quarterback. Okay, hey, what grade's your son in? Oh, week 13? Fuck, I don't know. What? Week 12? I can't remember, man. Hey man, how'd your wife's birth go? Oh, my son broke the plane this morning. It was fantastic. Touchdown! Touchdown! Woo! So, but no, fantasy football is also back too. I don't play fantasy football, but it's pretty funny though, because fantasy football, here we got one right here. We have fantasy football does actually drive fantasies in people's minds, because they will look at it and they think that because they're good at fantasy football that they're actually able to be a coach of an NFL team, just because they're, but you know, I mean, but being good at NFL fantasy football qualifies you to be an NFL coach as much as being good at the game operation qualifies you to be a surgeon. The old surgeon, the old operation reference. I was wondering if that one was going to hit, but I wasn't too sure, but don't worry. But anyway, the biggest one is what we actually have in the news, because I do have to remain topical at some point for some people to understand and know exactly what's going on. So one of my favorite ones that's going on recently would definitely be the NSA scandal, if you want to call it that. But when it comes to dealing with the NSA, one of the best ones which I had heard which comes out is that they had actually assembled a team of tens of thousands of people, and their entire job was to monitor every single tweet and Facebook post which had been made going on without the country. But the biggest one with the tweets, my favorite part, is that after searching these tweets of all this time, and they'd send them on intelligence gathering missions. So once they went and they searched every single tweet which could possibly be, they had to suspend the operation after wasting tens of millions of taxpayer dollars. They suspended the operation because not only did they find not one terrorist threat, but not one single ounce of intelligence. So, oh, sorry, Twitter fans in the audience? Oh, excuse me. Yeah. But no, the other one would be, and then also they're monitoring Facebook, and that's the one which I love as well, monitoring Facebook for terrorist threats. I'm sorry, but we don't really think that we need to be scared about any terrorist organization who's going to use Facebook as their main order. So I mean, I just try to think of how a failed terrorist plot would actually go on Facebook. And I don't know, I just kind of think of, oh, Ahmed, what are you doing? The bomb was supposed to go off at 9 o'clock. What are you talking about, Tagalog? I did not know. Did you not get my Facebook message? What the fuck, man? Because it's impossible. Nobody's going to be using Facebook. It's a way to waste our money, and it's just another thing to monitor every day. Hey, I'm glad someone's liking it. Woo! But, you know, this is the week. This is the week of blurred lines and red lines. I am sure everybody just follows. It's all that you hear. Blurred lines, red lines, red lines, red lines, blurred lines, blurred lines. But the best one is Miley Cyrus, which I could not just leave alone. I do not want to get too topical, but I mean, when it actually came out, you get all of these things from all of these adults and everybody, and adults with kids, without kids, doesn't matter who it is. Oh, how can she do this? Oh, this was horrible. This is absolutely horrible. And it's shocking. Because, you know, but honestly, I too was shocked. I'm shocked that these adults who are grown-ups actually have the nerve to call themselves adults because they're watching the MTV Music Awards. I'm so, the punch. But, you know, but for a lot of them, it says, you know, a lot of them, it just goes, okay, you know what, man? You know, well, it's good to watch her because at least my 20-year-old daughter doesn't act like that. Sure. Sure she doesn't. Sure she doesn't. But, you know, MTV actually, it's on in 120 plus, 130 nations on this planet. And, I mean, it's really sad, too, you know, because now you got fucking guys in India selling their family cow just to pay for their daughter's super sweet 16 party. So if there's anything that we should actually be doing is actually bring MTV for crimes against humanity to bring them to the UN at Geneva. But, actually, the cheap joke department, the really cheap joke department, just because I like to leave people alone if they don't happen to be in the press, but in the cheap joke department, I hear on the radio going to work the other day that Paris Hilton is now doing nothing more than just partying down in Atlantic City. Please come down to AC and party with Super Party Girl, Paris Hilton at the Tropicana Hotel and Casino. And honestly, I was quite shocked, you know, but actually I've been to the Paris Hilton in France. And the Paris Hilton, and exactly like the real Paris Hilton, you have to be well dressed with a no-limit credit card to get inside. But oh, I'm killing me. Join me. But but also the last thing in the news this week, we had the MLK Dream, the I Have a Dream speech. The dream which does nothing but actually say about racial equality, social justice, everything else. But you know, with the post-Zimmerman trial, it's I think it makes it clear that, sorry, Martin, but it's still just a dream. There's nothing has happened. And if you really don't think that there's still race problems in this country, let me just give you this example right now, and then you can actually figure it out for yourselves. But so figure this way: if there's a black person on TV or in a movie who is a drug dealer who happens to be doing certain things, and every single white American here, they just want this guy to just be done. Oh, this is one thing you can't practice for. Oh, we saw that one happening. Oh, and there goes that joke. But okay, but no, how we still do have race problems in this country, but because, you know, whenever there's a black person and they're dealing drugs and they're doing whatever it is, every single white person watching TV from the safety of their couch, all that they want to do is see this white guy busted, or this black drug dealer. They want to see him busted. They want to see the cops bust down his door, take him down, and get this guy off of the streets. Every single white person. But now, when the drug dealer is even more ruthless, not only makes the drugs, but actually sells the drugs, but makes them, and he's more ruthless, more vindictive than any other killer, but he's white, 7 million Americans now want to take him out to dinner. That's a Breaking Bad joke for any of you who didn't recognize the reference, but remember, I'm just writing off of little notes here, so it's a little bit difficult to do, and being that this is the first time I've done this, and usually it takes a comedian, or no, I'm not saying I am one, but usually it takes somebody 5 years, 3 years to come up with even 10 minutes to come up on stage, and Clint gives me 3 weeks for 10 weeks. So thank you so much, Clint. Thank you, Clint. But, you know, I guess you could say that it's moving into the third part and going towards the final end, and this is where it might just get a little bit different. But first thing I want to say, if there's any religious aspects or any religious overtones which is going on in here, I will just like you to know that I am not religious of any sort at all. I hold all religions in equal contempt, and there's not one single one, and, you know, I don't hold any favoritism towards any at all. But you know, actually, because I happen to have very close relations with people from all over the planet and just all different types of life, all different religions, whatever it is. And when I had moved to Malaysia, I was living for free in this house in Malaysia, and all of a sudden, next thing I know, the girl who I'm living with, she happens to started dating an Iraqi guy. So sometimes they would, you know, have parties at the house, and then here I would be surrounded by at least, you know, 10 different Muslims and 10 Iraqis, and I've got to be honest, man, there was times when I suffered extreme terror, especially when we ran out of ecstasy. It's absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. But, you know, I have had some strange jobs. I was actually a bartender in a Muslim country, and which is not a very easy job to get. But the person who I worked with, he was a Muslim himself, and every day this guy's just talking Allah, Allah, and it's just like, all right, come on, man, enough of this shit, Allah, blah, 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 doesn't want. But in the end, I did convert him. He's now a raging alcoholic. So, and the guy wouldn't do anything. But honestly, though, I wanted to do a couple different Fox News jokes, you know, of course, because I know that there's a lot of fans in the crowd, but I didn't realize that, you know, the joke, you don't even have to go any further than the name. They call it fucking news. Fox News, sorry guys, that's not news. I'm not, but hey, if we gotta say one thing about Fox News, you have to understand that they do work hand in hand with their advertisers. Because, I mean, if you look, every single commercial, anti-depression, anti-anxiety, anti-depression, yeah, thanks to you, motherfuckers. Sorry, hey man, hey, I didn't have a SpongeBob suit and do juggling for the fucking kids tonight, so I'm sorry, I'm up on stage, I gotta just let the words come out the way that they have to come out. Not everybody usually gets a task to complete like this at all times, so I really appreciate it, Clint. But knowing how these ones came out, God, there is so many more, but now I know that some of these ones at the end will go over like the Hindenburg. So I am not sure whether or not these ones would be the most best to finish off with, but I'll finish off, I'll skip a couple of them, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna leave on my final joke, and because I'm going to dedicate it to the guest of honor, Jesus. Because we do have Jesus in the garden today, so I want to tell you guys a little bit of story about Jesus that I'm not sure if any of you happen to know this story. So, bring this one together. It's a very interesting one. So if you can imagine, so you know how every single Christian in the world, 2.1 billion Christians we have in this world, right? And they're all wearing crosses, and they're all wearing the crosses in order to wait for when Jesus actually does come back. And Sean, can you please, it's a little frustrating. It's not funny, sorry man. Your show's next, man, your show's next. But actually, it's a lot difficult because, you know, all of these Christians wear crosses around their neck. The reasons they wear crosses around their neck, so when Jesus does come back from that day, he's actually going to... Hey, man, dude, yo, I'm lucky I kept my mouth shut during your show. Well, man, you want me to get on your... No, sorry, man, but I want to take it easy on you, dude, so... But actually, that joke is impossible to finish because nobody fucking cares, to be honest, and nobody gives a shit. So without further ado, and I'm gonna skip on 5 of my jokes because they will just fly over everybody's head like a fucking stealth bomber. So I think I'll just leave those ones out, and that will be it. Thank you very much.
Come on.